Hello, my name's Mark Hall. I'm part of the curatorial team here at Perth Museum and Art Gallery, where we're planning a new museum for Perth and Kinross, which will be created within the former City Hall. This is one in our series of conservation short films where we look at the challenges of conserving and moving our collection from the current museum and art gallery into that new building. And today we're looking at the challenges around the move of our two biggest objects. One is the Carpoo logboat, which you see beside Ian and myself, partially wrapped, ready to go out tomorrow. The boat's 3,000 years old and was excavated from the River Tay in 2006. And the other object, which we'll come on to, is the St Madoes Pictish cross slab. But for now, Ian, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us about the moving of the logboat?
Yeah, of course, Mark. My name is Iain Fox. I work with Graciela Ainsworth. We're a sculpture conservation company. We restore and look after monuments, artworks. In addition to this, we also have to relocate them occasionally. One of the big challenges is with a work of art, it can be priceless. So therefore, it's intimidating, but also a great privilege to try and be part of this. With something like the logboat, not only is it incredibly delicate as a whole, but there are specific parts of it that are also even more incredibly delicate. So we have to be very careful with how we go about relocating this. Added to the issue of fragility is the weight. We believe this sections could be 1/2 a ton. So we've got to make sure we've got the right equipment in place that can safely manage these weights, but also set the object up in a specific way whereby all the load is spread over as wide a surface area as possible, so no particular part of that logboat has any unnecessary strain on it. I imagine people might be wondering why we've wrapped it in cling film. The cling film will serve two purposes. First purpose is that with it being a very delicate object, as we move it, although we try to minimize vibration, there will be vibration on its way through to Edinburgh. The cling film makes sure that if any tiny little bits of that logboat do detach, they're in the same place, and it will make it an easier job for the people at national museums to work out where they should be and reattach them. The second reason for the cling film is more straightforward. As we take that out of the doors tomorrow morning and we crane it onto its transport, if it is raining, then yes, we've got that waterproofed, but waterproofed in a way whereby we can actually still see it. We can see it move, we can judge its condition, we know what's happening at every stage of the process.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ian. We'll now move through next door and have a look at the St Madoes cross slab.
Okay.
Okay, Ian, we've come through to one of our other magnificent treasures, a piece of Pictish sculpture known as the St Madoes cross slab, which was carved in the 18th century and formerly stood at St Madoes Church near Inshira in the course of Gowrie. What about moving this?
Well, it is a big lump of stone, and a lot of people think a big lump of stone, unbreakable. This is not the case, especially when you come to delicately carved stone. Any one of these particular elements of carving will still be vulnerable. So the stone itself weighs best part of a ton, so it is unwielding, it's heavy to move. We have to make sure that we've got the right equipment in. Before we even put the right equipment in, we have to make sure that the floor will take the weight of the equipment, which may be sitting as, say, a gantry structure either side of the stone. So making sure the floor will take the weight, making sure the equipment will take the weight. And as we're deciding how to lift this, we have to make sure, okay, let's keep slings away from the delicate areas. We'll pad out in uncarved areas. So that'll take the crushing forces, if you like, so that the delicate carved areas are almost free as we lift it. If we're transporting it, we'd prefer to transport it flat than transport it upright. So with a stone like this, we would swivel it and we'd lower it like a pane of glass. So it wouldn't be coming down in any manner to give it undue stresses. As with any of the jobs, moving artifacts, a lot of the work is in the prep, a lot of the work's in, say, the maths of working out what is this volume of stone. Once we know the volume, we know the density, we can get a weight, and then it's just very careful, very careful. Instead of imagining one super strong pair of hands, you imagine lots and lots of tiny little hands all working in conjunction together, spreading the loads so that we get this up as carefully, delicately as we can, get it crated, and then we can get it on its way to the new museum.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next conservation short.